Good morning. It is a pleasure to be here and an honor to be here. And usually before I speak, I would like to find out more about my audience. So I'm going to ask you guys some questions. How many of you went without school for 2 years when you were like 7 or 8 years old? Any hands? No? Second question. How many of you have failed 7 out of 8 subjects when you were in the 4th grade and got kicked out of school? Nobody? Went without food for 4 days because of a typhoon. Right? Arrested by police with the charge of felony. Right? Felony. You know, this is not giving a driving ticket or parking ticket. Well, I have done all that. So, I've been part of all that. So, we're going to talk about entrepreneurs, our hopes for economic recovery. My answer for that is it's true. And so I'm going to talk about 4 things this morning. First is why to be entrepreneur. In fact, I use the term owner-operator more than entrepreneur. Entrepreneur sounds like so grandeur and so big. Owner-operator is when you and maybe a partner or maybe a secretary started. And that's how I started. We call that a startup entrepreneurship. I will roughly talk about the the formula of understanding, design, build, manage, and control your future. And then I'll give my life as an example of entrepreneurial lifelong journey. And then at the end, 10 hindsights of an entrepreneur. I would put it to you that life is an entrepreneurial journey. Right? We are the entrepreneur of our life. You know why? Because nobody lived your life before. You are the first one who lived your life. So whatever you can make out of your life actually is an entrepreneurial journey. So before you want to be an entrepreneur, have the mindset that you are the entrepreneur of your life. So you can work on that and then understand, design, create, manage your journey, this entrepreneurial journey, and then you can control your future. And that's why we in Chinese, Cantonese say, 做老闆有得揀. If you 唔做老闆, you'll be in control over your life. But be very careful. All those of you that are 做老闆, we will be reminded there is always a 老闆娘. So you're not always the 老闆. And then it is that start your own small capital enterprise and live an independent life. Right? That's why I'm so happy and I look so happy. I will talk about in my book, the first 10 yards. I couldn't move this slide around because it's on a broadcast. Actually, I want to have this slide later, but I couldn't move it around. So, second thing is, this is the second part, is talk about my life as an entrepreneurial journey. I was born in Macau in 1943. That makes me 66 years old today. I don't look like 66 years old because I have a very exciting wife and also a very good anti-aging doctor. And if you want the name of that anti-aging doctor, I'll be very happy to share that number with you. So I was born in Macau, and then we moved back to Zhuhai, and then back to Macau, Guangzhou, Kolowan. This was during the 1949 Civil War, Liberation War. So in the first 4 years, we moved 7 times. And then I went to school in Macau, and then we ended up catching fish on the beach for 2 years. That's when I had no school for 2 years. Then we went to Hong Kong. My father found a job, which turns the life around a little bit. So he put us and my brother in primary school. Now, from Macau, no school for 2 years. Then you get put into a school in Hong Kong, which is standard is higher. And then I got in, but I couldn't stay in. I flunked 7 out of 8 subjects. The only subject that I passed was physical education. Yeah, all right. And then things get better. I got into English English primary school, because my father said, "You're going to do poorly in Chinese anyway. Why don't we put you into an all English school?" The school started that year, so they would take anybody who can pay the tuition. So I started learning English when I was 12 years old. And then when it get to my high school first year, I had to repeat it. And then I went to a school called St. Stephen's College, the only boarding school in Hong Kong. And I did pretty well. And then I set for the Hong Kong University matriculation, right? Except I had to qualify for 2 A-levels and 5 O-levels to get in. I get 1 A-level, but I overslept my history examination. So that was another end of the world. You know, no school for 2 years, flunk out of university. Flunk out of a class, and then couldn't get into universities. Then, because I couldn't get into Hong Kong University, I joined something called University of Seven Seas. Now, those of you that were here in Shanghai maybe 10 days ago, looking out on the Bund, you would see a big ship. And that was the ship that actually have people in a university going around the world and studying at the same time. And I was fortunate to do that. And then eventually I ended up at a school in Northern California, and I majored in fisheries management. I would like to go into a little bit about the fisheries management. It is about studying the fish. First, we study the individual fish, right? Then we study the school of fish. Then we study the environment of the fish. Now, remember that, because you will be managing that 3 realms of your life for the rest of your life. Basically, it is individuals. You deal with the individual. You manage yourself as an individual. You manage the relationship you have with your friends, with your relatives, and then you manage the rest of the environment. Now, studying fish, the individual fish, we have the systems. The skeletal system, circulatory system, the digestive system. That is studying the fish. Then the fish live with other fish. And that is the pecking order, the nesting. Some fish actually has to build nests. Sticklebacks build nests. Salmons, they migrate. And then your fish, how one fish chase after, how the boy fish chase after the girl fish. We have to study all that also, their mating habits, and then the spawning. Then we have to study the environment, the river, the streams, the lakes, the food chain, the predators, the sports fishermen, fishing industry, and now, of course, we talk about the climate, which is even bigger. When I graduated, I took that to create the business that I had. I started the courier company. My first job was not a courier job. My